What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode review of Love After Lockup. Season 6, Episode 6, Quit Playing Games. Baby, I'm just going to say this been like one of the worst weeks ever. But, yeah, I just want people to stop playing games. I just want people to stop playing games with me. Anyway, so we back. I'm sorry. Let me get back into the thing. I'm sorry. But anyway, girl, this episode a mess. We finally get Brian in Brooklyn. Okay. Brian in Brooklyn. Brooklyn finally gonna get her man. He out the halfway house. He only was in there for 3 weeks. That's cool. I was like, sometimes I be thinking when they go to the halfway house, like, they don't all get longer sentences or something. Like, I guess I thought they stay up in there longer than 3 weeks. I be thinking they be up in there for like months or something like that. I don't know. Does it? How does that work? Somebody fill me in who know somebody. I ain't say that y'all went there, but y'all probably know somebody, could be, or work in the system or whatever. Let me know how that worked. But yeah, she finally seen them in. She was like, basically, you know. She's still gonna have to question him about that girl, that picture that she saw or whatever. But you know how you act all hard before you see the person, and then you act soft as tissue as soon as you see him. That's exactly how she was. She was acting just like that, trying to be up in her feelings, trying to be all mad, trying to be all hard or whatever about that picture. As soon as she seen him, baby, all of that stuff, right? And we get his little backstory when he said, I was misbehaving ever since I was like 13, 14 years old. I said, misbehaving? You was bad? You was bad? Okay. Stealing this, stealing that. I was like, oh, okay. At least you're being honest. So he gets out. They go to Brooklyn's place. And, of course they do what they do. The thing about Brooklyn, she does exactly what I don't like and what I speak against all the time. She has a child. Didn't know that she had a daughter, and this daughter has a whole relationship with with Brian. She calls him Brooklyn. Now, if this was any other time, and I guess, it was a cute thing because they are kind of close, but at the same time, you have to be cautious, okay? Just because, y'all just now you've known each other for a long time, but you're just now starting to date, but he was already talking to somebody else probably before that. That's why he was with that picture of that girl, and so now she has a daughter that's involved, and the daughter is, that little girl says, so how was prison? The way she asked him how prison was like, how was Disneyland? That's how she asked him. I said, girl, prison was a terror. That is nothing. But you know what I'm saying? I love it when kids ask questions, okay? Because kids want to know. They like, don't keep up nothing from me. Because she kept on saying, how was prison? Okay, well, what was that? All right, so you did this. What was that? Break it on down. Don't give me that little simple stuff. I'm asking you for the meet and greet, okay? Give me details. That's how she kept on asking him questions. I said, keep on. Interrogate him. Make him sweat, okay? But, they got a little closeness, I guess. But they're about to have a little welcome home party for him. And we'll just see how that lasts. I just really... And I get it, like, sometimes you can't help who you fall for. Sometimes they got kids, sometimes they don't. It's just that when you in environments like this, where you getting somebody that's at a situation where they have not been in the real world for a while, for whatever reason, and then you bringing kids around, and the kids always get attached for the most part. And then something happened, and now that person is no longer in their lives or whatever. That's a lie. I don't be liking that. But moving on from that, baby, she said they had sex 5 times. I said, you know what? Honestly, I ain't need to hear that. 5 times and trying to get pregnant or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, do what you got to do. Now, who needs to just go ahead and let it go? I'm tired. Joey and freaking Michael. Michael, just tell that man that you do not want him like that. Tell him you do not. It's not that he really don't want him. It's just that I feel like he wants Joey, but he wants Joey as like a situationship, not a whole relationship, because he can't handle a relationship at this point. And Joey, you should realize that as well. Given that you are a former addict, you should know what addiction look like. You should know what somebody is going through look like. And I feel like you're just trying to turn a blind eye to it because you really want this man and you really want this relationship to work. And sometimes we just gotta let stuff go because it's not working and it's not benefiting us and it's becoming hazardous to our health. And that is exactly what is gonna happen. This man is talking cash shit about you, Joey. Not saying like, truly vile things about you, but he basically saying that you are a nagger, okay? Like you doing too much. When he said, I couldn't have sex with that man because that man be just giving dad vibes. Whoa. See, that's the death of the relationship right there. I'm not your daddy. Not that daddy, okay? Not that daddy. Dad, can I get some allowance? And I want to go down here and can you take me here, go to the T-ball? That type of dad. He said, no, I don't need that. You're a drama queen. And that's basically what he was saying. And I was just like, oh, JoJo, it's not going to work, baby. He does not want you that way. And the way that he keeps talking about how, he wasn't monogamous. Well, he was in only one monogamous relationship, and that was early on when he was younger. But then he just started exploring. He got into drugs and all this other stuff. And so, he's been with different people. And how, his best friend Spencer, he's never given him up, even though they had their little fling with each other. And they probably still dip off and have sex with each other or whatever. And he's just not going to give him up. So Joey's just going to have to deal with it. This man is constantly thinking about, literally, he is not serious, Joey. Literally, if you sit here and you watch this and you still stay with that man and have him in your life in any type of capacity, you are a glutton for pain, okay? You literally love pain because this man is on film, on camera, on tape saying, I'm just out here trying to have fun. I'm just out here trying to have fun for the short time that I can have fun. Literally, when he said that, he's already letting us know that he is not about to be on the straight and narrow. From the day one when he went to that darn sober living house, saying that it's a scam and all this stuff, and saying how he was here for only 3 days the first time, and he got kicked out and all that stuff or whatever, I already knew right then and there that it's not going to work. He's going to be back in prison. And that's exactly why he said, I'm just trying to be out here having fun and do what I need to do for the short time that I'm out for now. Because he already know. He going to do something to take his ass back to prison. He's probably going to go back on drugs. He's definitely finna fuck around. Okay? And he probably going to go to an orgy and be high as hell fucking around. Listen, Joey, let it go. And then you taking his phone just so he won't be nagging you and all that stuff. And Joey, I can see it. I can see exactly you making me side with him a little bit, but I get it. Mind you, Joey is older than him. Joey is older than him, and he's concerned because he wants his boo-boo to be okay. He wants his boo-boo to be okay. He wants him to have him as long as he can, be out in the free world for a long time and not go back because he wants him for himself. And you just have to understand, Joey, that man is for everybody and he's not just for you. Okay? Your man is my man is too. All right? That's basically what Michael is saying. I'm his man, and your man. Okay? And whoever else want to come along. You just going to have to deal with it. And when that producer asked him, do you think Joey really took your phone, or do you think it was an accident and you left it or whatever? He said, no, I don't think he took my phone. And then when they showed that he did take the phone or whatever, the way that Joey snapped on the producer, he probably took the phone, but you're not going to keep on asking me this. And you can stop asking me because you're not going to make me believe that he did it on purpose or whatever. Like, man, I said, oh my God, Mr. Joseph. Joey turned into Daddy Joseph right then and there. And I said, that man got you snapping because you already know. You already know. Also, Bradley and Savannah, break up. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. This episode should have been The Cracks. That's what it should have been called. Episode 6. the cracks, because just about everybody's relationship that we see in this episode was showing the cracks in the foundation that is not stable and never was stable. Okay, listen, Savannah and Bradley, if everybody in your family is saying don't be with this person, they don't like this person, I mean, you don't gotta agree with them and all that stuff, but that should tell you something. Okay, and Savannah, if everybody is clocking the fact that you are controlling, okay, and he is telling these people this too, they're getting that because they see you, and they getting this mostly because they listen to what he's saying. Maybe you need to heed that, okay? Maybe you need to heed that and actually listen to what the person is saying to you instead of, getting any feelings and all this stuff when they say that. People say you're controlling, and of course the fact that you're trying to figure out what did his little sister say to him about you. You should already know. She just don't like you. She just don't like you, baby. I am so tired. I've been so stressed out this whole week. There's just been so much stuff that's going on that's been so unnecessary. And I feel so stupid right about now because if you watch my What It Is, it's literally concerning that stuff. And I feel so stupid because anyway, y'all, it's just like I don't understand. Like, anyway, like my feelings really got hurt, but it is what it is. Moving on from that, let it go, Savannah. Okay, let it go, cause that man don't like you. How are you getting in your feelings just because his older sister, Alyssa, the one that you made up with, how are you getting in your feelings that they made a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment? First of all, I would be like, thank you. Okay, I would be like, thank you, because I don't want to be kissing nothing that stank. Okay, that's the benefit for you and him. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, he can't go to bed or he can't be walking around and all of a sudden he opened up his mouth and he smell it coming out his nose. Like, I'm breathing and I can smell it coming out of my nose. That's crazy. If you can smell your breath coming out your nose, that's crazy. But you don't want to be coming up to him and talking, and all of a sudden you like, whoo, goddamn. Let him go to the dentist. Why is it a problem, an issue that his sister made the appointment for him to go to a dentist? Okay, yeah, the dentist is 45 minutes away. Get him an Uber. Okay. If she made you could have just said, well, she gonna get you an Uber, because I mean she don't drive, or well, she ain't got the car or whatever, so she gonna pay for you to Uber. Let them figure that out. Okay, let them figure that out. I really don't feel like that was that big of an issue to make it to the point where he has to leave and, get into this whole thing about her being controlling, and then you taking him taking your car, and then you getting on the phone calling the sister and like, I don't want him to go to jail. We don't want him to go to jail and all this stuff. And I'm like, the way that she was saying that stuff was almost as if like you would have called the cops on him because he took the car to try to make it seem like he stole the car. Mind you, she said the car ain't really hers. It's her mama. It's in her mama name. So I was just like, Savannah, what's going on? Like, this is toxic. And then you in the car, he in the car on the phone with the sister, because I think she called him to check on him. And he was like, the bitch is controlling, like, she micromanaging and all this stuff. She all over my shoulder looking on who I should be blocking and all this on my shoulder when I'm on Facebook, when I'm on Instagram and all this or whatever. Like, I'm done with this. I was like, yeah, you're going to still be there. Okay, that's just really how it do. And I was like, everybody just, the cracks. The cracks are showing ever so clearly. They've already been there, but they're like crystal. They're like, boo, it's a light being shined on them, okay? And I need everybody to break up. Baby, the only ones that seemed like they had real fun this episode was Brooklyn and Brian and Will and Courtney, okay? And Courtney, you having doubts and you sitting there looking like, God damn, what the hell did I get myself into? I don't know, okay? Because we told you not to do this. All right? Listen, Will got up in that hotel room. He got that pizza. Courtney went up in there, took that shower. Will was getting ready, okay? Will said, here, fuck the pineapples on the pizza. Get you a piece of pizza, okay? And let's do this thing. Courtney the whole time is like, I'm a little bit nervous doing this when it comes to sex because, first of all, I don't even know Will that well. Yeah, we talked on the phone and stuff like that when I was in jail and all that, but it was only for a short period of time. And I really don't know nothing about this man. I really haven't had no real conversation with this man. I don't know nothing. And then I haven't had sex with nobody in a while. So, I'm a little bit nervous and everything. Girl, next thing we know, the camera people going out the room, and then we get Courtney up in the goddamn confessional saying, Will a freak. And she liked it. And I said, goddamn, William. And then he up in the car talking about something. Man, I wish we would have had more time so we can bring out the ropes. I said, oh my God. Yeah, we already knew he was a freak. Okay, like when the season came on and his first scene was talking about making a dating app for people who are furries. Okay, and then talking about butt plugs and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, you into some things. You into some things, you know what I'm saying? I said, it be the goofy ones, it be the quiet ones that you got to look out for. The motherfuckers be the undercover freaks, okay? And I was just like, he tossed your ass. Like he said, brought a whole bunch of sex toys. Didn't even get the chance to use them. I said, damn. If she's saying all of that and you just use yourself, all right, Will, I'll give you a little point for that. And yes, y'all, please stop doing this. It's not this. It's this, okay? If you're going to take from ballroom culture and gay culture, it's this. Can we do it correctly? Not this, but this. Middle finger, okay? Like that. That's what we do. But yes, I was like, oh. And then she was like, so, because he really wanted her to get up out of there. He wanted to take her back to San Diego. Is they in San Diego or San Francisco? I believe it's San Diego. He wanted her to get back into San Diego so that she can get away from the place that got her into all the trouble that she was in, right? Understandably, understandable. But at the same time, he working a little bit too fast. And Courtney probably regret the fact that she asked this question. She said, well, shoot. I wonder how long you think we can, should we wait to get married? He said, we could do it tomorrow. I'm thinking him finna say, I'm just playing. No, he was dead ass. Courtney was waiting for that laugh too. She was like, and it never came. And she was just like, I mean, like, how would that be possible? Like, that's so short notice. How would we get I can get so-and-so to bring down a dress and get you a dress or whatever. It's a nice we can set some stuff up in my little hotel room and everything. The hotel is real nice. And I can get somebody to officiate and all this stuff. I said, Will has already thought this stuff out. And I'm sorry, Will. It's a little scary. It's scary. And her mama don't like you. You moving way too fast. Like, you could have all the best intention, but at the same time, you're moving way too fast, okay? You got to slow down. You don't know this girl, and you are willing to do all of this just so you can get her to come to the same state or the same city that you are in. Well, she was in Seattle. No, California, because Portland is Seattle, Washington. Portland, Oregon. There it is. Anyway, you trying to get her to come over there to see where you at, and it's a possibility that she could really be playing you. But she talk about I just wish I could wake up with him. We be in the bed naked and all this stuff. But, girl, you don't rush all that. He hit you off with some good dick, and you probably think it's good dick because, you ain't had it in a minute, so you probably don't remember. But then again, Will do look like he probably got some things going on. I don't know. But at the same time, in your heart of hearts that y'all moving way too fast, okay? And that this is not right. This is not right. Y'all trying to play the system, and y'all got this shit on tape that y'all trying to play the system. It's not going to work in your favor, okay? I just want you to understand that. Now, let's just and I say this couple to last because I'm over Brooke. Brooke and JK. Now, JK, I understand the frustration. I wouldn't have called a girl a bitch like that, okay? But I'm going to give you an exception because that bitch was doing way too much. I'm sorry. Like, I understand, again, that you had it planned out. Y'all had already had the shit planned out or whatever, that the kids was going to meet him at a certain time or something like that. Now, you done found out what happened with the parole, okay? You found out what happened with the parole. You saw how long it took for them to get that stuff together. So most of the time that he would have had to be able to be with your kids got taken by him trying to set up the stuff with the parole so that he won't have to go back to prison. Okay. And the fact that you were not being understanding to that, and you were focusing so much about yourself and your children, which, yeah, be about your kids, but it wasn't that deep that you was literally about to make this man be late for curfew. It's 6 o'clock. He has to be back home by 7. He can't go to your house, your mama house, see the boys, and then come back and be back at the right time. No, he was going to be late. If that's the case, he would have went on ahead and did it. And it's like, you want this man so much, and you waited for this man for so long, so you say, and you develop this relationship, you develop this kinship, you develop this closeness. So you want him out. But because he could not see your kids because of unforeseen circumstances, and because he had to get back home and check in so that he won't go back to jail and never see your kids, you didn't think about that. Okay. You get upset as if you can't bring them motherfuckers down the next day, or take your ass home and go pick them up and bring them down there that night if it was really that serious. If it was really that serious for them to see him, there were possibilities, okay? You didn't need to get upset, and it just goes to show you're selfish. You're very selfish. Them kids ain't upset like that. You using the kids as an excuse, okay? Honestly, you are. Kids are resilient. Kids sometimes, yeah, they're getting their feelings, but baby, they sometimes these kids be way more understanding and way more mature than the goddamn adults, okay? I'm pretty sure them boys are not tripping about not being able to see him that day, knowing damn well they probably going to be seeing him the next day. They could see him the next day, the day after that, okay? All you got to do is explain the situation. Them kids will understand. In the way that she was like, they're 8 and they're 12. They're not dumb. You can explain stuff to 8 and 12-year-olds, and they will understand, especially the 12-year-old, okay? Like, come on, quit treating these children like they don't know what's going on. Treat them like little human beings that they are, okay? Because trust and believe, they know way more than you think they do. They know way more than you think they do. And they can handle way more. And they very much more understanding. You put up this big production, got kicked out the car. Baby, let me tell you something, though. That whole thing, once he got out the car the first time and he was on the phone talking to his friend, he was like, can you come get me? Can you come get me? Because this bitch gonna make me late and all this stuff. And the friend was like, yo, but that means I'm a ways out, so I ain't even gonna be able to get there to get you back in time or whatever. And he was just going off. She on the phone with her mama going off too. And he, you know, I don't play about my boys and all this stuff. Well, why the fuck would you get with somebody that's in jail and got all these goddamn restrictions? Bitch, what the fuck? What it say about you? You putting your kids, you putting a man over your kids anyway, because why you ain't at home spending time with your kids? All right. But anyway, so you got that going on. And then when he get back in the car, he was like, go ahead and drive. Go ahead and drive. I was like, you know, I'm gonna be late. You trying to get me fucking locked up, bitch. I'm gonna get out of this shit already. You have fuck you too. Okay, I was like, God damn, already? Mind you, this is like the second day. This is like the second day. The day before he just got out. This is the second day that he's out in the free world. And y'all are already going through it, okay? And then this is where JK, now let me tell you something. I understand your frustration, because one thing about me, I do not like being late, and I can't stand a person who is late, right? I have to be there at least 15 minutes before, okay? At least 15 minutes before. Now, when it comes to me being at work, girl, I can be there a minute before, I'll be fine. There was once a time I really cannot believe this. There was once a time when I used to go to work, baby, I used to be 15 to 20 minutes early, okay? If work started at 9 o'clock, Ashley was there at 8:45, okay? That's what time I got there. Girl, these days, if work started at 9 o'clock, you would be fortunate enough to get me there at 8:57. You will get me there at 8:57, okay? Listen, I need my sleep and my tan, you know? But girl, you doing all of this, but when JK reached over there and pulled that key out the ignition while the car was still going, bitch, let me tell you something, your ass would have went right back to jail. Like, listen, I was on your side, minus you calling her a bitch and all that stuff. I was on your side and everything, but when you pulled that key out the ignition while that car was still rolling, bitch, first of all, y'all could have got into a car accident, okay? the WeTV trucks behind you, and they could have, abruptly, because you pulled the car out, they don't know what's going on. They could have accidentally brammed him back to the car. You know what I'm saying? And bitch, I was like, JK, we not finna do this. I would have said, lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. No, he needed to be taught a lesson, because one thing about it, two things for sure. This is my shit. This ain't yours. And you hollered at me already. Okay, yeah, I was being a little bit irrational. And I understand that you need to get home because you don't want to go back to jail. But bitch, you pulling the key out the goddamn ammunition, take your ass to jail, okay? Because one thing about it, we not finna do this. We not finna do this, okay? Girl, she was like, get in the car. Get your ass in the car. And when she tried to get up in that driver's seat, I don't know, if he came over there, she got on the other side. I said, bitch, a second day? We doing all of this on a second day? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. With your Shein outfits. Let me tell you something. JK, he love a little short. They gave him a little short set. I love it because I got a couple of them too. I was like, bitch, the one that he had on when he had the party, I said, bitch, I got that same one. I said, bitch, you got it before the tariffs went up. I know that's right. Yes. Okay. Oh, they go up today. Today the 25th. What today is? What today is? Yup. Today this the day today. The tariffs finna go up, y'all. Damn. You know? I don't know if that's still happening, but that's what they said on Temu and Shein. So, Temu and Shein. So there it is. But yeah, so they was gonna have this little get together party. Welcome back party. Mind you, when they pulled up in the driveway, Big Kathy said, now hold on, JK. One thing about it, I ain't raised you to be talking to her like that, because he called her a bitch again. And she pulled up and she was like, absolutely the fuck no. We not finna do that. I don't give a damn what the hell y'all going through. You not finna call her no bitch like that. We don't do that shit. And it was like, okay. But then it flipped to, he was like, she trying to make me go to jail. Because she was like, I don't play about my kids. Understand to be respectably on Kathy. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I said, now hold the fuck up. Kathy said, well, shit, bitch, you can take your ass home. You can get the hell up out my house at this point. Because you're not going to come in disrespecting, and then you're not going to come in trying to put my son in jail because you up in your feelings because your kids couldn't come see my son. Ain't nobody tell you to make promises like that. And that's what Kathy said. Don't make promises you can't keep or you don't feel like you can be able to keep. You also have to make plans and understand that with plans, everything don't always go accordingly. You have to be, lenient sometimes because it make room for just in case things. Just in case something goes a little bit longer, okay? Brooke, you was being very much irrational. You were being very much irrational, and you brought all this shit upon yourself, right? And so at this point, you got that going on. And you up here talking shit about Kathy like she don't know what's going on and all this stuff or whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Bitch, shut the fuck up. At the end of the day, that's why that man cheating on you. I'm so sorry. And then he go get her. And he was like, no, baby, I'm sorry. Because you know what? I love you. I love you. I love you too. Girl, get the fuck up out of here. First of all, you ain't finna love me after you just called me a bitch like that. But all right. And then the next day, it's the, welcome home party. The stepdaddy telling her, I heard that you want to have kids with him. Absolutely the fuck not. First of all, you ain't even the first one, okay? You are the latest in a long list of women that he been with ever since he been up in prison. Bitch, why he tell her that? Because mind you, JK is over there, talking to, I don't know if it was a friend of the family, the white boy with the dreads. Now, when white people had a lot, their dreads on white people, their locks on black people, because why do you have that on your hair? But anyway, he was talking to dude, and he was like, yeah, that motherfucker just doing all this stuff, whatever, she being a bitch. I was like, let me see your phone. She walked up there, let me see your phone. I'm like, man, she gonna see some shit. And he gave it to her. She up in the room, the fuck he talking to her, getting on Facebook. I don't even understand why he talked to Alex. Let me block her. You don't need to be talking to her. You don't need to be doing this. All these new girls. Why these new women's coming up or whatever. Block. Bitch, if you got to do all of that, You got to do all of that. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? Let it the fuck go. Meanwhile, so you get outside and he gets on the phone from his friends and he called Alex and said, don't come over here because I don't want no shit to happen. But I can see you later. But don't come over here. Okay? Let me just tell you this, girl. You really thought that you was special, Brooke. You thought that you was special because you was the one that came and picked that man up from prison and nobody else did. And the stepdaddy was correct. You literally just got in the picture because right before you've only been talking to JK for a few months, like a couple of months before. Maybe 3 or something like that, 3 to 4 months before he got out. And prior to that, that was only because he found out that Alex was seeing other men. He still want that girl. He don't want you the way that you want him. Okay? That's why you shouldn't have brought your kids into it. Okay? You're about to get hurt. He's about to get hurt. And that, oh, let's have a baby type of situation. He been saying that to everybody. You're not the only one. Moving on from that, Alexis, Ashley, Julius. Let me tell you something. Julius, you are such a gaslighter. You are such an asshole. But at the same time, I really do feel like, hear me out. I really do feel like Julius led Ashley on. But at the same time, Ashley put way more onto it and had it in her mind thinking it was way more because of some of the stuff that he said and the way that she interpreted it, right? She should have caught on when it was almost time. Let's say he was saying all this good stuff to make it seem like they was in a relationship or whatever. Okay, but when it came to that time when it was almost time for him to get out and all of a sudden the phone call started changing and he wasn't saying I love you and all that shit at the end and all that, you should have known right then and there that this wasn't it, okay? And it was time to switch up and to play accordingly, all right? And honestly, I'm not really mad at Julius for saying, yeah, I can't do this because, first of all, she do too much. She too fucking much. I can't stand a bitch that do too much. And she was doing too fucking much. Like, girl, you so damn dramatic. Calm that shit down. And why are you leaving your hotel room that you pay for? Or maybe WeTV, but 9 to 10 you pay for. Why are you leaving your hotel room and leaving him up in there? Kick that nigga out, okay? That's what you're supposed to do. And then Julius want to say, yeah, she out here doing too much, and that's why I'm sticking with Alexis or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know why she got it up in her head that we up in a relationship, because I ain't never say no shit like that. Like, she went and got my name tattooed on her. Don't let it get, before we get misconstrued, dude, or whatever the fuck he said, because he didn't say misconstrued. That's what he said, misconstrued or something. I said, wait a minute, misconstrued. All right. You know, he said, don't get it fucked up. I didn't tell her to get my name tattooed on her. Julius, I don't believe you, but all right. But then again, Ashley, given the way that she been acting, she gives me that vibes that she went on ahead and did it herself. So it's a toss up. It's a either or. I can see both of y'all asses telling each other to do some shit like that. I can see it. But and her actually going through with it. Well, like, you love me. Yeah. You type of bitch that go ahead and get my name tattooed on you. I dare you. And she was like, look, baby, I got it. I wish I would. I never do no shit like that. Absolutely not. No. Because partners are interchangeable. Okay? Absolutely not. You finna have me out here looking stupid. Just like Ashley was up in that damn hotel room. Girl, I'm so tired too. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at myself up in there. I'm just not my best self. I hate these. I hate to say I hate, but these last few videos, I really don't like them because the energy is not there. I'm not there. And I got bags under my eyes. I'm so freaking tired, but I don't want to get black because I've been doing it enough and I've been on a good streak trying to give y'all the stuff. And hopefully next week will be a better week. Fingers crossed, okay? And I hate to bring my shit to the internet, but there's that. Anyway, look, I'm just so tired. And I ain't gonna tell y'all the rest that happened earlier. Bitch. We family, right? And we all get bodily functions. Girl, for the first time in like ever, I've experienced constipation. Okay. I know, to TMI. And that's part of the reason why I was feeling, I was like, what is this feeling that I'm feeling? And I didn't know for real. And I'm like, why is my stomach hurting? Like, all this pressure, is this bloating? What is going on, girl? I had to text my sister. I said, what the hell? She's like, bitch, you probably constipated. Go get you this. Bitch, I got it, and I'm waiting for it to work. Baby, you listen. I don't know if some of y'all be watching Forest Rocks, her video, and she be up in there talking about, oh, Lord have mercy. I feel so, because she be having this. I'm like, I couldn't relate. Now I can. God damn, it is not a good feeling. It is the worst feeling ever. I'm sitting here uncomfortable. You see me moving this shit. Because, bitch, I'm trying to move it around, okay? But, yeah, I'll be good. When I feel some things percolating, I'll be all right? But, yeah, so, yeah. Julius just, Ashley, girl, let it the freak go. And then now you finna be up in your feelings and you thinking that this girl finna put you on blast, but you don't know exactly what she gonna do. That's what you should have thought. Then the producer gonna say, son, are you talking to any other girls? He was like, nah. She said, if some girls or somebody get up into your inbox, you go talk to her. Anybody come up in my inbox, I'm curving them. Because I got a girlfriend. I said, shut up. Alexis so goddamn happy, but she like, you know, I got the spirit of discernment on me, and my God and my spirit is telling me that something is not right. And every time that comes across, it always be correct. I always be right when I feel that, okay? And I'm going to just keep an eye on it. She was talking to her friend. She was like, listen, me and him, we did it. It was real good. You let him shoot the club up. I mean, pull-out game was kind of weak or whatever, but, you know, he the only nigga that I ever let do some shit like that, for real. You know, I don't really be going out doing it like that. But I feel like something else is going on. And the friend was like, but girl, he just got out of prison, so, like, calm that down. He was like, right. So I'm gonna keep it to myself, but I'm gonna keep an eye out on it. I'm gonna look out on it, you know? So when he come in, she just looking like, where the fuck you been? You been out for a while. He was like, yeah, homie was going through it. We was smoking, doing all this stuff. But then, you know, I'm going to go take a shower. And they go out to go get his P.O. Then they go to this fun place, okay? And then she straight up asked her, like, are you seeing anybody else? Because he was like, what's going on? It was like, are you talking to anybody else? Is there anybody else? And I was like, you know what, to be honest? Because she literally just said, cheating is a deal breaker. I'm not finna deal with that. Cheating is it's going to be over. Soon as he said, I mean, yeah. I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting him to go ahead and say that. I was like, are you going to say psych? Like, no, I'm just kidding. Because I know you was waiting for me to say something like that. So, no, girl, it's just you. No, he was just like, yeah. She was like, give me a second. I'm going to have to go. And she got up and went outside, and she went up in her car, and she cried. I said, well, Lexus, baby, you know, I'm on your side. But at the same time, you're a little naive. You're a little naive to that skeletal ass nigga do what he... Like, come on. He lanky, he tall, he a light skin, tatted up, with locks. And he just got out of prison, girl. You are one of many. Just like JK's stepfather said, you are one of many. Okay? You are one of many. That's just really what it is. But she gonna take that nigga back. She's not gonna let him go. You know, we say a whole bunch of shit prior to us getting into a relationship with somebody. I never let another fucker cheat on me. I ain't never gonna stay, because I'll never be one of them dumb bitches that let a nigga cheat and not stay up in that bitch. And as soon as you get up in a relationship and he do some shit like that, fuck you, but I'm still here. That's just what it is. That's what it is. But anyway, stand up, Alexis. Okay? Stand the fuck up, girl. Know who the fuck you... Stand up, okay? But anyway, y'all, that was the episode. And I gotta go to work in the morning too, so that's exactly why I'm tired as well. I was working today. It rained so hard earlier today. I don't know. The weather is just so wonky. It's so wonky. I'm ready for it to be consistently 60 degrees for the spring. Okay? So that we can get to 70 plus for the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we can do it. I'm tired. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I appreciate y'all for checking in and watching the videos this whole week. I don't know if it was up to y'all standard. I just know for sure I'm a little insecure because I just know it wasn't up to mine, and I apologize. So I hope y'all have a better week. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later. Peace.